You know what it is, man. You know the vibes. It's episode 3. You tuned in. I am your host, Self-Made Mel, the highest and the flyest, along with my co-host, Team Leader Diane, Curbside Kyle, 85 to Rialto. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to today's episode of our podcast. We got some special guests in the house today. Photographer Christian Yee, fellow podcaster Miss Candy Jackson decided to sit in today. She wanted to see our process, so we're just going to get into it. We all hungry in the midst of getting ready to start this. We thinking about what we gonna eat and order some food, and from that we just bring up that niggas robbed Roscoe's chicken and waffles, nigga.
Crazy. You know it's getting bad when they running up in there for waffles, man.
No, nigga, it's been bad at this point. It ain't getting bad. When you in a restaurant stealing chicken in bags with no mask, shit has gone off the deep end. This where we live in right now. This is the times we living in. I'm going to read down the news story reported. Armed man allegedly demanded Roscoe's employees give him all of their chicken and waffles after he was denied service for not wearing a mask. Police are searching for an armed man who held up a Southern California Roscoe's house of chicken and waffles for his food and not the cash after he was denied service. According to ABC 7 LA, the man tried to get some grub at the famed waffle spot in Pasadena's location. When employees refused to serve him because he wasn't wearing a mask, police said he left, then returned with a gun and demanded all the chicken and waffles they could give him.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. He then ran off. The incident happened last Wednesday. Police said the suspect remained at large. Employees said they told the man he could return if he was wearing a mask. Instead, he showed up at the back of the restaurant with a gun.
So I didn't find a mask. I do have this Glock. Yeah, I want all the chicken and waffles.
Nobody's been arrested yet, but they still looking for him because, ironically, he never put a mask on. So the very thing that they told you to do so you could get service, he just avoided even when he came back to rob him. That would have been your getaway right there.
Crazy. Like, how hungry you got to be like, you know what? I need this food. Like, I want it all now. Like, I
even better question, just because we on the West Coast, how good is Roscoe's chicken and waffles?
That's amazing.
I ain't never heard of a nigga running up in McDonald's to steal the double chicken.
Oh my God. We snatching your driver license, bro. You can't.
I don't even have the right button to hit for that shit.
You can't even have no
blasphemy. You've been here.
Never had a chance to. Not that I even want to. I never had a chance to.
Why?
So we ordering Roscoe.
I don't know where there's one at. I never seen one.
Oh my God.
My God.
Hit Hollywood Boulevard, Pico.
Get
Long
out.
Beach. Like,
get out now.
Every tourist, everybody that ever comes here is like, "Oh, take me to Roscoe's." You know what I mean? It's just one of them things. Like,
nah, but they said that employees told the police the suspect demanded they turn over the food, chicken and waffles. Nobody was hurt. He didn't take any cash. The manager said he actually took chicken, and before he walked out the door, he took syrup for the chicken.
Like, so
gotta have back syrup.
Hey, I'm gonna need extra syrup. Extra syrup.
You know what? I didn't even put. I know I just robbed y'all. I put 0 syrup in my bag. So
I'm gonna need 10 Obama specials. Like, why are you robbing?
Got to go back for the syrup, bro. Always.
Like, they handed them the money.
You took a bag full of waffles, my nigga. You're gonna need syrup, like.
But like they're
that
like,
makes sense.
Do you want the money? Here's the money. Like, nah, I just want all the waffles and chicken you got made. Like, what? Like,
yeah,
this is crazy, man.
Hey. If he was a ball player, he could afford all the syrup and the chicken and waffles he wanted. Goddamn it!
Right, exactly.
All-Star game been announced March 7th in Atlanta, Georgia.
What you think about that, man? Like, you think they should be having an All-Star game right now? Everything's going on.
Honestly, if it's my opinion, honestly, no. I think we should be taking everything, very serious in terms of the current moment that we in time, because this is history. History is writing itself. We are in a pandemic right now, very much like the plague was and things like that.
Why Atlanta?
I think it's more important. Well, Atlanta's been open the whole time. They feel like they immune to it, even though we know people that live down there that have caught it.
I know so many people that went out there and flew out to Atlanta, bro, and then they had COVID.
Yeah, the clubs are wide open.
Everything's open.
Yeah, they got everything open.
Everything.
And not to be a hypocrite, if I'm keeping it 100, I'd love to go. I think that's just like my COVID PTSD thing. Is just like, oh my God, I've been in this house for over a year. I'm tired. Somebody help me. I gotta get out of here.
You know how All-Star Weekend be, man. Everybody comes out. You know what I mean? Them girls out there looking for a ball player. So.
Oh yeah, everybody looking for the next big thing. Basketball players and others. I seen LeBron had voiced his disapproval for it. Basically saying the All-Star game. Let me read what his quote was. I don't want to misquote him. LeBron James said having an All-Star game is a slap in the face to the players. The upcoming NBA All-Star game is taking place this year despite the global pandemic. The annual game will take place in Atlanta on March the 6th. Excuse me, I thought it was March the 7th. It's March the 6th. However, there is one NBA star that isn't pleased with the league decision to have one. LeBron James doesn't agree with the decision to play the game. Told the media after the Lakers 114-93 win over the Denver Nuggets on Thursday. Laker Nation.
Watch that.
I have zero energy and zero excitement about an All-Star game this year. I don't even understand why we're having an All-Star game. Short off season for myself and my teammates. It was 71 days, and then coming into the season, we were told that we were not having an All-Star game. So we'd have a nice little break. He continued 5 days into March from the 5th through the 10th, an opportunity for me to kind of recalibrate for the second half of the season, my teammates as well, some of the guys in the league, and then they throw an All-Star game on us like it's just breaks, on us like this and just breaks that all the way up. So pretty much kind of a slap in the face.
I agree with him, man. Like, it's been some good basketball being played, and like now you jeopardizing all these people from different teams. They going to Atlanta. You know they hitting the strip club. Like, you know they going out.
That seems like the irresponsible part.
Crazy.
That seems like the irresponsible part to me on behalf of the NBA.
Yeah.
Because they've done such a great job. Adam Silver being the commissioner, the bubble was a tremendous success for the amount of players that they had in the bubble. They were producing no positive tests. With hundreds of people. You know, we weren't doing that anywhere in the country. So I felt like they would have continued to be a little more precautionary. And like me and you spoke about this the other day, how quick of a turnaround this season was for those players. So by him, I didn't even notice it was only 71 days.
That's crazy.
You know,
that's
so
the
yeah.
shortest ever off season. It's a meaningless game. Like, this doesn't, you know what I mean? It's fun, but like, why risk it? You know what I'm saying? It's all about that money. They trying to, you know, get back what they lost. So I get it, but
yeah, I just think they should. I think they should just kind of look to be a little more. That's a little more safe, man. A little more cautious and aware of the situation. You taking people now. You taking all these players for All-Star Weekend who have been producing negative COVID tests. You taking them into a city where the city is completely wide open. They're gonna go out. They're not breaking protocol by going out to a club that night because this is where you chose to have it. So when you get a spike in positive COVID tests when y'all go back to the season, you know, how do you combat that pretty much?
Imagine
you know?
all the stars get it. Like, that's going to be horrible for the league, for ratings. Like, I wonder if they can refuse going if LeBron is to be like, nah, I'm cool, you know?
I think LeBron holds a lot of weight. I'm pretty sure if he say he's not doing it, a lot of people would just take
might shut it down.
Just be like, nah, well, we're not doing it then. We'll see how that shake out, though. Shout out to Nick Cannon, man. Nick Cannon returned as the host of Wildin' Out. Right, there you go. Yeah. Nick Cannon will be returning as the host of Wildin' Out 7 months after being released, let go. I don't know if he was 100% fired. I've been seeing that floating around, but I see that floating around on one specific publication. So I just thought that was funny to me. Nobody else worded it like that. This specific publication likes to, they like drama.
Right.
So for them, it was like right up their alley. They wanted the bigger publications. We won't give them no publicity, but they in our house. So just so people know, could get an idea.
Big ups to Nick Cannon though, because he lost that job and he already had The Masked Singer, which was a #1 song show on ABC, and
which he's currently taking a break from because he recently tested positive for COVID. So,
damn.
He's taking a break from that just right now.
Well wishes to him, man.
No doubt. Viacom, which is the parent company of MTV and VH1. They actually released Nick last July after he made what they deemed to be anti-Semitic remarks on his Cannon's Class podcast while talking with Professor Griff, formerly a Public Enemy for those of you guys who don't know. Nick said things like, you can't be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people, when we're the same people who they want to be. That's our birthright. We are the Hebrews. Some people took offense to these comments. Of course, religiously, some people felt that he was out of place for saying these things. Nick has since given a full apology, taken up some classes, some courses with some of these people in the Jewish community, and done some things to redeem himself in the eyes of the people over at Viacom. So congratulations to Nick Cannon. Can't wait for a new season of Wild 'N Out to come back up, man. I miss everybody that was on it for real, like all the Instagram comedians and stuff, the people we was used to seeing, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it kind of took a little chunk almost. It felt like it was out of daily life for some people.
It It was MTV's biggest show. Like, you watch MTV, friend? Like, what do you watch it for?
For Wild and Out, pretty much. That was mostly it.
Yeah, so, and he put a lot of people on in the culture. People that's just doing maybe YouTube and Instagram.
New comedians that we know
names.
about, we found out about through him and stuff. So
shout out to him.
You fuck with Wild and Out?
Yep. It's cool. I haven't watched it in a minute. I know when it first came out, I was like younger and shit. So, but I seen that they've been trying to make it relevant, bringing on guests and shit. So that's good for the celebrities to get their to get their name up, get a little more promotion.
Yeah, they've always done that. In terms like other celebrities. Remember how they used to do the performances and everything like that. Things too.
Yeah, that's true.
I know they've had some of everybody on there as far as from a comedic standpoint too. And just while we're on the topic of comedians, let me transition real quick into Tiffany Haddish. I know we had spoke, I believe it was in episode 1, we spoke about the Day Ready Netflix special that she had coming out. So it is now on Netflix. If y'all haven't checked it out, check it out. I told y'all the trailer was hilarious. We watched some of it again today. The shit is funny. Godfrey is hilarious. Some of the comedians who you probably don't even know their names, these people are hilarious. So I'm liking seeing what she's doing in the space that she's in. But the reason I mentioned her, I saw that she had made a statement, not nothing that should be taken like out of place or nothing like that. But as you know, she's in a relationship with Common, rapper, actor, etc. And she just basically opened up. She was on Stephen Colbert show recently. She just basically opened up about their relationship while she was on the show. She corrected him. He said he was her boyfriend. She said he's not my boyfriend. He's my man. I don't date boys no more. I date men. Then she just added like when he first showed interest in her, she said she didn't accept it right away. She said he was trying to holler. I was like, nah, I'm not really interested. I'm good. My eyes set on other things. I'm interested in somebody else. But basically what this comes down to is, so the reason she said the reason that she didn't take him seriously is because she said she told him I know too many people you've dated already.
Oh wow.
Is that a situation you've ever found yourself in where you might have wanted to deal with somebody and then the person you want to deal with was like, nah, I can't fuck with you because you fucked with somebody I know.
That's happened a lot, yeah. Because you got to be comfortable in that circle to just know, like, yeah, your partner's been with a couple of your friends, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm never gonna be that.
Can you take? Yeah, that's too uncomfortable.
I don't think that's a level of comfort.
As a guy, no.
As a guy, it's hard.
That's a level of comfort that I have yet to reach, brother. Like, I don't think I'll ever get to that level. We all in the same. Because right now, like, you ever walked into a room and it's like, if you know somebody that messed with a female you messed with, but y'all ain't like friends, right? You know what I'm saying? Even that little situation already is like, it's not no issue, but it's like, I know this nigga piped the same thing I piped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, think about it. You on your wedding, you walking down the aisle, and you got a couple of friends that's been with your girl, and they're like, man, she can really. That little trick she do when she flips.
Could you be at the wedding?
You know how niggas is.
Could you imagine the motherfucker? She walking down the aisle and the nigga standing there just waiting on her to walk down, and then he see his homeboy who he didn't make the best man because of that reason sitting in the pubes, and he just peek out like,
"What's up, Sally? How you doing? How you doing?"
Hey, I remember that ass.
Yeah, my ego, I can't take that. No,
that's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all really finna get married. That's crazy. When it started out, it was all of us. That's crazy. Who seen this coming? Not me. Crazy. Like, but that's the type of shit that goes.
You, never me.
That's the type of shit that goes on. It's always you, never me. Always. That's the type of shit that goes on, and then people act surprised. Like, breakups happen every day, man. It's part of life, part of the relationship. Right. And speaking on that, Carucci and Victor Cruz have separated after 3 years. Well, you can say that now with no problem because before that nigga's a athletic specimen. He might have wanted to see you if he seen you. Right now, I'm not so sure. Like, I seen everybody adding Chris Brown in the comments and shit. Like, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Leave her alone. She drove him crazy though.
He love her.
I know, but still,
is it toxic?
It's too toxic, man.
What if he's just expressing how much he loves her? They haven't been together in years. She was with somebody else. What if he's like, found the error of his ways, so to speak, or corrected what she didn't like, and he's willing to be a better person?
I think it was just bad setup because he had a baby on her when she just took him back from cheating.
Players fuck up.
That's true. Maybe.
Is that toxic?
If you have a baby on somebody, it's kind of hard to mend that bridge. But that's what it is, man. They might get back together. Who knows? She a free agent now.
Yeah, we're gonna see. But I mean, the reports come out and say reports that's come out. This is from E News. You know, E News is the official source.
I'll do some yoga with her.
Victor Cruz and Karrueche Tran reportedly no longer an item after 3 years together. The couple has reportedly decided to part ways and focus on their careers. A source close to the situation has confirmed to E News. Rumors have been circulating that the couple had split after their social media presence together was on the decline. Apparently, both Karrueche and Victor also removed photos of each other from their respective Instagram
that's
accounts.
when you know it's over.
Listen, nigga.
It's not official until they erase the pictures.
I hate that shit. It is some motherfucking Instagram detectives, nigga.
Shit.
You can't even hurt in peace today. Like, nigga, that's why I never had social media. Because if nigga, don't just show the ups, nigga. Show the downs too, my nigga.
That's hard to do.
Let me see you at your worst. Let me see. You fell on your face? Nigga, get up.
And I swear people on there want to bring you to your lowest, but nah.
That's really how it be. Like, but look at this. Like, who got that kind of time to? You just chose to go look through their pages. Nobody said nothing about them being broke up.
Yeah,
and somebody out there is like, no, this
something's off. Yeah, I ain't seen him. Let me look through.
Oh, he took down that picture of her with the biddies out.
It's over.
It's over.
Yep.
It's over.
They know from right then, like, it's a wrap. Let me look through that whole page for 4 or 5 years. Oh, ain't no pictures. They done.
Yeah, it's over, man. Like I said, a lot of shit happens in relationships, man. You can't really judge nobody on how they go about their thing, man. It's just, you know, it's kind of to each their own in the society that we live in. Just speaking on that, the to each his own thing. It was a situation that's been occurring now. It's been unfolding for a couple of weeks. We chose not to speak on it last pod because we wanted to wait until there was some more information. We didn't want to just be accusatory and release people's names and say things. But at this point, it has become a major topic of discussion, looking like it may be some litigation, different things. So we're just going to touch on it a little bit, and it's not to blame anybody. Again, we don't know the ins and outs. We're just going to give a rundown on what's being reported, basically. So rapper T.I. and his wife, Tiny, their show, production for the T.I. and Tiny Harris VH1 reality show, T.I. and Tiny and Friends, and The Family Hustle, have been put on pause amid allegations against the couple. A spokesperson for MTV Entertainment told Deadline. The statement released said, "We are aware of the allegations, and while they are not connected to our show, we have reached out to T.I. and Tamika Harris, as well as local and state officials. Given the serious nature of these allegations, we have decided to suspend production in order to gather more information." Wow. Season 4 premiere is also reportedly on hold. It was initially scheduled for this spring, as well as the Me Too movement has also called out now T.I. And Tiny Harris, as well as Soulja Boy, as they face sexual assault claims. Well, yeah, if you remember,
he did get called out.
We did speak on episode 1. There's that one particular.
I thought you said
incident.
he said something pertaining to them. I'm like,
now, if you unfamiliar with this situation, basically, what happened is there was a friend of Tiny's, I believe she was, and she began saying some things that kind of blew up in the media in regards to their personal sex life and her being involved in threesomes and just a variety of different things with them, which kind of opened up the door for, sex trafficking has been mentioned at this point.
Wow.
Drugging women for sex has been mentioned at this point. And again, I do want to reference again saying these are just allegations.
Right.
Nothing has happened yet. We don't know anything. I'll read the organization. I'm going to read the letter, the statement which the organization released. It's titled "Open Letter in Defense of Black Survivors," and it is a little bit lengthy, but just how to, I'm gonna just make sure I touch on everything out of respect for the victims, because they do name some people and they have a message for survivors. And on our platform, I want to make sure we're getting across the right message to these people so that they understand we are against these things as well, and we stand with people who are going through injustice and not on the side of violence and rape and things like that in this culture. So the statement is released. It says they condemn the alleged actions earlier this week. The letter begins by referencing recent allegations against the celebrities, noting B2K singer Raz B's claims the group's former manager Chris Stokes molested him when he was a teenager. And this is off topic, but I know that was a topic that we were going to discuss last episode that we didn't touch on. Just a real quick touch up on that topic. Like, I don't even want to make it like in a jokey way. Like what is y'all thoughts on that in terms of just the situation, the whole situation in general? Because this has been going on since this guy was a teenager. You know,
since a kid,
Rasby was an artist in one of the biggest groups in the world next to Marion and J Boog and Lil Fizz. Like everybody knows their history, or at least you should. Basically, his claim has always been that he was molested by this person.
Multiple people, right?
He has come out and said he'd like to take a lie detector test. All these things. I feel like I don't want to make fun of it. Molestation is molestation. Rape is rape. He was a child at the time. He was taken advantage of. As an adult man now, I'm happy to see that he has kind of got himself to a space where he feels a little more comfortable. He has addressed whatever he needed to address, and he basically wants to fade with Chris Stokes. Like that's what he told me.
All right, so it's been a lot of that's so many years ago, right? I'm not saying I disbelieve him or anything. I'm just saying like to get over something and for growth, you gotta kind of like let it go. Like at this point, or he's not gonna go to jail, right?
Listen, I can't tell
nobody
a person how to get over
though.
molestation. I've never been molested.
That's true.
I can't tell somebody who's been raped how to get over rape. I've never been raped.
But the longer you hold on to it, ain't it toxic for your mentality? Like
as a former behavioral therapist, I would say, yeah, you're supposed to address your issues. Right. Therapy is always good, and you live with it. You find a balance, and you live with it as best you can.
Right.
It can't be taken back once it's already happened. It'll never be taken back. If that's the way he chooses to go about addressing the situation, though, I'm just saying as a man. I don't have no problem with that. If a man molested him when he was a child and he was defenseless and couldn't do nothing about it at that time, and he's got to a point in his adult life where it's like, nah, me and you both know what you did. I need my retribution for that, or I need some kind of get out. Like I don't have no problem with that whatsoever. Like,
I don't either, but it's just like at this point, he's not gonna get around Chris Stokes most likely. It's been I don't know how many years. Is he gonna get that ability to go get a one-on-one with him? He can't, I think I don't think he ever sued him or anything like that or press charges on him. And in the
beginning there was gonna be some stuff, but it was removed. I remember when they were way younger because Chris Stokes basically owned everything. The house he was living in, when he started to come forth with these things, him and his mom ended up being almost homeless at one point. I remember, this is in the beginning when videos were like first going viral.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a multitude of videos where Chris Stokes would be coming out of different restaurants and he was doing fashion and different stuff.
They was making money, bro, on them stream tours.
Rasby was addressing it back then, but like I said, that's unfortunate.
That's messed up, man.
Let me get back on topic, but I did just want to touch on that because I saw they had brought him up, but the letter is called Dear Survivor. It starts, Dear Survivor, over the last week, we know countless of you have come forward with credible accusations of horrific sexual abuse and violence at the hands of black celebrities, including Soulja Boy, T.I., and Tiny. R&B singer Rasby has spoken out once again about his experience of sexual abuse, yet no media outlets, corporate actors, or systems of justice have centered survivor stories or promised accountability. It compared the accusations to R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, who are both in jail for sex crimes. It says, like you, we are carrying the emotional weight of this news and know that we are reliving a collective trauma akin to the exposing of Cosby and R. Kelly. It added that it will stand with the women despite their accusations against celebrities and people of power. Today, we write to hold space for what is the moment in bringing up black survivors. Over the next few days, we know your stories and the experiences of black survivors may be dismissed. We know people will try to discredit and scrutinize you. We know people will evaluate your stories by a set of questions that shift responsibility from the accuser to the accused. What were they wearing? What do they do for a living? What is the social status of the abuser? And we know that when the alleged abusers are not only famous but held up as pillars in the black community, the tendency to be swept these allegations under the rug happens. It then called on the media and black community to stand with the alleged victims. We are calling on and for the media, black survivors' experiences visible, and reframe the narrative to center justice for survivors, treat black survivor stories with journalistic integrity, conduct thorough investigations and examinations of claims made by the survivors. So a couple more lines, about 3 more lines, but it basically touches on that. Let me ask you first. What do you take? Yeah, what do you take from this? From what you just heard? This is a statement that was released by the Me Too movement, right?
Gotcha.
So I want to know, what are your thoughts, or what did you take from that statement?
I mean, of course, I feel like people all want justice for anybody that's been put in those situations where people use their power over them to get what they want, or molestation or rape or touch them or anything like that, obviously, of any color, you know what I mean? Especially like, you know, in the black community too, to open up awareness for what's going on. You know what I mean? As far as the T.I. situation, I'm not too familiar on exactly what happened with that, but I did read about how they were having threesomes. The girl was her friend and stuff like that. And I just seen the girl did a lie detector test not long ago, saying he put a gun to her head and stuff like that. So just to see that.
And she did put up, just to touch on that, she did put up those results for the question that she was asked, and they did come back that she was telling the truth on all the questions that she was asked, but there was nothing specific or pertaining to date rape, drugging women, and trafficking women. It was the situation with the gun to the head thing, and which, like, I don't know, like I don't know dudes who put guns to females' head. You know what I'm saying?
Mean, yeah.
And I would really, like, just on some street shit, I would hope that T.I. coming from where he come from, being the model example that he set for the city of Atlanta, and being a trap nigga and a dope boy and a real street nigga who understand how you move out here in these streets, I would hope that never came to, that's a real actual
I know,
thing.
It just don't even
you know what I'm
sound
saying?
right.
Like, I think, and that's, I get what they mean when they say black, you know, certain black celebrities are held up as pillars of the communities. He would definitely be one of those
He's
people.
definitely a pillar, and when you speak out like that, you become a target too in ways. And just to see the lawyer that she did get in the case,
I was actually going into that. I'm happy you touched on that, because
she usually wins too.
I was going to say to what you just said. The turmoil continues. Famed attorney Lisa Bloom. That's what you're talking
Lisa
about.
Bloom,
Yeah, famed attorney Lisa Bloom. Known for taking on sexual abuse and harassment cases, shared that she'll be representing one of the alleged accusers. Bloom made the announcement via Twitter that she'd be taking on the case just days after she added her own commentary to a viral post on Twitter that discussed some of the allegations against the couple. Good Lord, so many accusers, Lisa Bloom said. Then 5 days later, she followed up with, and I now represent one of them. Bloom didn't provide any details on who her client is or what her client is specifically alleging. She also failed to mention what, if any, damages her client would be seeking in this case. As of today, no actual criminal charges have been filed against the couple. Authorities have not mentioned any such investigation in regard into the allegations. And this all started when Glam University CEO Sabrina Peterson, again a former friend of Tiny's, alleged that T.I. held a gun to her head following a disagreement. After she called the couple out, things began to get heated. Peterson alleged multiple women began contacting her, and I mean, I'm sure we all seen this over the week, over social media last week. There was a lot of different stories floating around. A lot of those were proven to be discredited, false. People just want clout. We live in that age, man. Social media, people don't understand. Like, what I hate about that is when you do shit like that, you shortchange the actual victims.
Well, do you think that's a tactic, though?
Shit.
Do you think that's a tactic? Because, you know, you seen what happened to Bill Cosby. It was like, you know, one person said something and then the floodgates open. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But this is the thing. This is what I mean, right? And again, these are all allegations. We don't know nobody personally to claim that this person did anything. T.I., his wife, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. T.I. has already said himself that him and his wife, they like to partake in threesomes. You know, that's what they do. That's their personal business. They're married. They've been married. They have children. Yeah. Let people live their life. You know, honestly, they low key in a different bracket than most people who even comment on it anyway.
That's true.
So if it works for them, who is anybody else to have an opinion with it? That's how I feel about them wanting to do things with other people in their marriage. Now, the drugging, of course, you know, all of that. We have no proof that none of that happened. I'm just saying, in general, I'm against all of that.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, because we got to be clear sometimes, because you never know with some people. Some people would take a small thing you say and make it like, well, nah, he pretty much said, like, long as he don't see it. I never said that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. The shit is filed. The accusations are filed.
How long ago was this that happened?
This has been going on just the past 2 weeks now, about 2.5 weeks.
I mean, like, when did this supposedly happen? Wasn't it a while
It was multiple years back. There's even video, and this is not to discount her claims, because again, Sabrina Peterson did take a lie detector test, which for whatever she was asked came back that she was telling the truth in regards to their situation. So it's not to discredit her or nothing like that. Again, it's just she runs a university, right? So there was video going around, pictures going around of her with Jeezy and T.I. Just like a year ago, where she's calling the kids like, oh, these are the kids' uncles and blah, blah, blah. So for this to come out now, a lot of people are like, well, where was this energy just last year?
I didn't know that part.
But I don't like that because that's like when people tell victims of rape, like, why did you wait so long? You see what I'm saying? You can't do that. These people live a whole different life, and if you the tag along or the person they bring along for sexual endeavors, you more than likely ain't from that life. You don't make that kind of money. You don't have that same kind of pull. It's differences to situations.
So she was with T.I. a year ago?
A year ago, she was at her business. T.I. and Jeezy showed up to do like a community event.
That's crazy.
And she took a picture of them, and it was like, oh, I got the kids' uncles to come see them, talking about T.I. and Jeezy. And that's what I mean.
So in a year or two.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. But I don't want to say like saying that to discount her because that's what people do sometimes. People miscrew that and say, oh, were you saying like because she was doing that, like the two things can't be true. You see what I'm saying? But they can. The fact of a gun could have been put to this woman's head, and then there was a reconciliation in between amongst friends. Yeah. And then a year later, or multiple years had passed by the time she has them at her location saying these are the kids' uncles, etc. Okay. So I know, being in specific situations, never had one, not that situation. I ain't never had somebody I consider a friend pull a gun to my head.
Nah, I don't think I would ever be around that person again. If I was, it wouldn't be in no friendly, type of. And see, that's what I'm saying. You can't pull a gun into my head and we straight.
That's what I'm saying. But see, everybody is different, and coming from some of these backgrounds we come from, we don't know where people come from. We don't know the lifestyle that everybody lives. Right? Some people, they're in these situations. Like niggas in the hood sometimes get in situations with their homeboys. I ain't even gonna call my niggas names, right? But I had two homeboys. I had two of them. Rest in peace, Lee. They got into it. They threw hands on the block over a dope fade when we was teenagers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some of the shit that was said, I feel like if it had been said to me or to certain other people, it could have went a different way.
Right.
But because again, everybody was from the same hood, the shit was able to be talked about, be de-escalated. Everything went back to how it was.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Niggas was still hanging with each other, et cetera, et cetera. But we was young at that time.
That's
as an adult, you got, you're responsible for the choices you make and your decisions going forward and the things you involve yourself in.
But what I'm saying though, when it comes to like pulling an actual gun on somebody, right? I've been in fights with people and we've been cool after it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Arguments and all that, we can chalk it up. But once you pull, like our uncle pulled a gun out on me, for instance, right?
Listen,
that's and
allegedly.
I
would never.
It could have been something else, but he was. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't do that. Edit that shit, man. Edit that part out, man.
Nah, but I'm just saying.
He's a nice person. His killing days are behind him.
He would kill you. Sweet God. He pulled all kind of shit out on me.
That man did 27 years flat.
Exactly.
In the hardest penitentiaries across this country.
Like 6 of them.
Let him live. If he sees this episode, he's on your ass.
He gonna pull another one out on me.
I'm telling you. Cut that shit.
I love you, Unc. I love you, Unc. But it happened, and we was straight after it. But at the same time,
he gonna keep telling.
Nah, but what I'm saying though about anytime you pull a weapon out, like I don't know if anybody can have that energy where you're saying like, oh, your uncles is here to see you, and your friends is here to see you, when it's like, nah, this person almost killed you, like that. You know what I mean? That's a traumatic experience, especially if he. I don't know.
No, I feel you. I feel you. That's why I said. So and again, but you got to look at it from this point. That's why I said where people come from and there's different backgrounds and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. We talking about a situation where the woman is friends with the woman of the man who pulled the gun on her. They have the friendship aside from T.I. and Tiny. So my point for saying like a reconciliation would have more so been between the friends.
Maybe
if Tiny and old girl is friends, okay, after whatever happened and everybody's calmed down, as a friend, we now have to have that conversation because my spouse did something to you that even I should be inappropriate.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So what kind of friends are we? Where do I value our friendship at that point? Right. Do I mention it to you, or do I let you go on about your life at that point? I never bring it up again. We never speak to you again. It never happened.
That's a tough situation.
You see what I'm saying? So I feel like there could have been a reconciliation that happened in between amongst the ladies.
Right.
T.I.'s not tripping off the shit. If it did happen, he's not tripping off the shit several years later.
Right.
So yeah, that's his wife's friend, whatever. That's when I said, well, if she's posting pictures with the kids and Jeezy and saying like, oh, these are the kids' uncles. Yeah, right. if this happened 9-10 years ago, nobody's expecting you to bring it up.
And I'm surprised a year later she would be like, all right, now I'm going after him. So that's the only part. We don't see how it play out.
That's why I said I want to see how it play out because it came
Right.
out of nowhere, and she waited until the first time she spoke on it was when the mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Bottoms, was tapping T.I. to speak. For people.
Oh,
to see.
that's what it was.
That's when it
Got you.
came out.
For,
and she
for
and again,
battered women, right, or something like that, right?
I'm not sure. I think it might have been battered. I'm
Something
not
about
100% sure, but it was something. It was something with
something.
women. Yeah.
So I mean, all I'm saying on stories like this, as much as the media outlets shout the negative, and they put this jacket on T.I. now. If it comes out that somebody was lying or it's false, let's shout it too and say he was innocent because you never lose your.
Of course.
No, that you fuck up your reputation after that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing with a lot of these big publications. That's why I love the space we in. That's why I love where podcasting is going. The opportunity that we have to, if we can be successful with this, we can take this to the next level and do things because we can get messages across to people in our community that, quite frankly, other networks and stations can't. So for me, that's a big deal, man. I don't take that for granted. That's why I'm always wanting to make sure that we get the correct information or the correct stories if we putting something out because I don't want nobody coming to me like, oh, well, I took your word for something that I saw on your platform,
right?
With over 5,000 plus people right now, blah 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 blah,
right.
And from there I made a judgment on something.
Something I was thinking about this the other day, and it's Black History Month. You know what I mean? Shout out to that. I was thinking about if Martin Luther King was alive today, right? Like an allegation just got made against T.I., right? He's somebody that speaks on platforms. He speaks for the streets. He be speaking for us. Anytime something happens, he has a platform. And he's been in the White House. You know what I'm saying? Right. So imagine if Martin Luther King was alive and something like this came out about him. And you know what I mean?
Martin Luther King wasn't perfect.
No, I'm not saying nobody's perfect. Too. But I'm just saying it would have been.
Oh, we ain't gonna tell that part. I got some looks. So we not supposed to tell that part because it's documented. No, it's documented.
Well, he was 20-something years old, man. Shit happens.
I hear a lot of excuses from niggas, boy.
Hey, a man is a man, man. But no, I'm just saying.
Oh my god! Cut the edit to the shit. Cut.
But no, what I'm saying is though, In today's day and age with the news cycles, everybody's a news platform.
No,
there's gonna be shit coming out.
You know a man is a man.
Oh, why you want to jump on that?
Well, I got a specific reason, brother. A man is a man, right? That's what you said.
In that situation, yeah.
In that situation.
Yeah.
So when is he not? Not in that situation?
Well,
because I'm going somewhere with this. Okay. I just want you, a man is a man.
Correct.
Right? In that situation. I want you to look into your camera and explain to your daughter what that means.
Damn, why you got me talking?
Oh, ain't no fun when the rappers.
But you know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell her that though. A man is a man. He might tell you he love you. He might be telling you all kind of lies like your uncle do, right? He might be saying all kind of stuff, and you gotta believe that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of liars out here. So don't believe everything you hear.
That is crazy. No, but that's how you should though. We talked about that before.
Tell them the game.
I don't have children, but if I had a daughter, she gonna be the hippest. Niggas is gonna hate trying to talk to her. And they're like, who the fuck is your dad?
Yeah, for real.
What do he tell you all the game for?
You gotta give them the game though, so they know when it's bullshit.
I was trying to run the 1-2 on you real quick. We're gonna go into a music break real quick, but before we do the music break, I wanted to touch on something. Diane Durham, the first Black U.S. women's gymnast, has passed away at the age of 52.
Oh wow.
Now, let me say that again. This Black History Month. I want y'all to listen to me. The first Black U.S. women's gymnast died at 52. That's young, bro. For real. That's very young. Really? That's very young. Condolences to her family. Touch on her a little bit. Diane Durham, the first Black woman to win a USA Gymnastics National Championship, died Thursday in Chicago following a short illness. Her husband said she was 52. She was a pioneer in American gymnastics. Her victory in the all-around 1983 National Championships as a teenager was the first by a Black woman in the organization's history. A statement given by her husband says, I think between her and Mary Lou Retton, they felt they introduced more of a power gymnastics. That's Tom, how you say that last name? Tom Drahosel. Diane was a pioneer for Black gymnasts as well. She paved the way for others. That group includes Olympic champion Simone Biles, Gabby Douglas, as well as Dominique Dawes, a gold medalist of the storied 1996 U.S. Olympic team. That door was opened by Diane. Diane was a pioneer for Black gymnasts as well, paving the way for others. So our condolences are with her as we go into our music break. Rest in peace, Diane Durham.
That's
All right, this is the YKTV vibe of the week. New Ice Cube dropped over the weekend. It's called Trying to Maintain. Ice Cube, the legend, still out here 2021, dropping visuals, dropping bangers. Everybody tune in. It's YKTV. All right, welcome back. That was the YKTV vibe of the week. We started this one off with the recent release from the West Coast legend himself, Ice Cube. That was Trying to Maintain. 2021 release. Cube is still giving us fire.
Right.
Like, who's seen an album coming from Cube or an EP in 2021? Like, with everything this dude is doing or has been doing, who thought like, oh yeah, well, he's also going to drop in the first 2 months in 2021?
Is he's consistent? Like, he'll be doing the big three. He'll be having 3 movies out, and he will just drop an album out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So Cube was one of them dudes, man.
Yeah,
like one of the most creative people I ever seen in our culture. You know what I'm saying?
You think he'll ever get involved in like any? I know he got, as far as sports, he's been involved in like basketball. You know, he got the Big Three league and everything. Shout out to the Big Three. You think he'll ever do anything like involving like boxing, maybe perhaps?
I could see him getting into that realm. You know what I'm saying?
I think he's an entrepreneur. So
I could see him doing a movie in boxing.
And kind of sort of anything.
I want to see another Friday movie.
That ain't gonna happen. Well, I mean, we might get it Friday, but we touched on it already last episode. We ain't gonna get one with Chris Tucker.
DC Young Fly.
Get Mike Epps again. Get Day Day.
I like DC, but I don't want to see a remake play. Exactly. If you're gonna remake it, I would rather Chris Tucker. Because if Chris Tucker don't want to, Chris Tucker said he don't want to do the role because he don't feel like he can deliver what we need as fans from him to that role. I 100%. I respect that. But what I thought is like, you know how my mind works, shooting independent shit. I always come up with these ideas and shit, right? So I thought there's a way you can bring Chris back and he can still be as funny, and you can incorporate DC Young Fly, right?
Make him a preacher.
There's been years that have went by throughout the Fridays or whatever, right? So Chris Tucker could come back in, they could bump into each other somewhere in the city as like he could be a substance abuse counselor. You know, Smokey turned a drug counselor.
Right.
DC Young Fly could play the son that Craig didn't know about because Craig had went off and lived his own life.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's ways of going about making the movie still be funny and making what people want to see. It's just we want Smokey. Like that's kind of what it was.
Put
right?
Mike Epps and Cat Williams in it, bro. Yeah. Again, like I think it'll go.
Solid with Day Day too. Day Day's.
Nah, he's hilarious.
It's enough of the old characters to make it.
Yeah, you can still do
make
it.
A new
you
one,
can bring Denzel back. Yeah.
Well, the reason I asked about the boxing, if he would ever go into boxing, like just to touch on that topic, I don't know if y'all seen over the last week the Floyd and 50 Cent boxing rhetoric that was thrown. I'm not even gonna call it a match because all it was a bunch of talking back and forth about who would do what or what the stipulations had to be. So it don't seem like
it's like it don't even match.
Well, no, Floyd said Floyd made a comment that said his weight don't matter to him.
He'll let him come in any weight,
but it's like he know that's not gonna go.
Listen,
even if he lose, he gonna get the pass because. That's not his
I would say sometimes, right? Because like when I box, one thing shout out to Coach Jesse Cherokee Rex outside St. Louis. What I used to always take away from what he was saying was like, there's always really can be a difference between fight, of course, street fighting and boxing.
That's true.
Right? And I was thinking when I heard Floyd say that, I was thinking what he meant by like, oh, his weight don't matter is because if it's a boxing exhibition match, I'm the more seasoned, the more technical, the more skilled boxer.
Endurance.
Exactly.
He's in shape for boxing.
I can take you 8
rounds. Gonna gas out.
You can go to Muhammad Ali right and let you
I can take you 8-9 rounds doing this because this is what I've done for 20 plus years.
Exactly.
I think that's more so what he meant because in a street fight, like if there's nobody to help, and you like, oh, it's 50.
His weight is gonna take over you, and you're gonna be crouched up.
If it's like, it's 50 versus Floyd on some street shit, and nobody's getting in it, and it's like no gloves, and they just going at it. Listen, I know people gonna probably like, nigga, you crazy. Listen to me, my money would go on 50. I understand that Floyd is 50 and old in boxing, in a sport in which there are guidelines and rules and specifics to things. What Jesse say? You can't play boxing.
No, for real.
You can play basketball. You can play football. You can play soccer. You can play baseball. You can't play boxing. That's playing with your life.
Fighting is real.
You get in here and you get hit the wrong way. That could end up. That's happened to
kill you
numerous times.
Yeah, you can get killed in there. But I don't think they're gonna do that. I think he gonna make a lot of money fighting the Paul brother, the Logan Paul. And Jake Paul.
He said he planning to take a couple exhibitions this
That's
year.
gonna be big.
I really don't. I really don't. I could care less about the Jake Pauls and them fights. I don't want to see that. I have no interest in that.
It's all about making money. Like, you know what I mean? They're supposedly they're gonna make like $50 million or something like that off.
My whole thing at this point is like, you know, if they doing it for, what are they doing it for? Is it a charity thing? They said exhibitions. The money going to charity. What it's going to? We'll support it if y'all gonna do it. You know, the one that's kind of I don't want to see, but I'm kind of like we can do without. Lamar Odom and Aaron Carter has also been announced as a celebrity boxing match, right?
Who's Aaron Carter?
Aaron Carter, Nick Carter, little brother. You know, he used to have a music career, the Backstreet Boy little brother.
Yeah, okay. He used to have a career doing.
He had his own little songs for a little minute. You know, he had his
and
little run and stuff. He did some acting and stuff.
All this is just a money grab. It's almost like disrespectful.
I'd rather see Jake Paul than some other nigga than.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I just like my thing with, like I said, with the Lamar and Aaron Carter is like nobody's seen Aaron Carter since I don't know when, and I don't mean it like negatively. I just really mean that like, I can't tell you the last time I saw Aaron Carter.
I wouldn't even know what he
something.
looked like now.
And Lamar Odom, he's recently out of a relationship with Sabrina Parr, who was the fitness woman,
right.
Fitness coach that he was with, seemed to be helping him get on track. And then there was a breakup, and there was some issues behind that with his social media pages. But my thing more so is like, his health at this point. If he had multiple strokes not that long ago.
Right.
So I think in terms like that, because like I said, one wrong punch, and that's sometimes all it takes.
Look, he could go play in the big three. He still can hoop, probably, I'm sure. Like, go play basketball. Like you said, you don't play box. I think a lot of these dudes are starting to make a mockery of it almost, man. Honestly, I'm not even happy that Floyd took them fights.
Is it worth it if you taking some form of money, right? But it may not be what you might have wanted or what you might have felt that you would have been worth, right? Is it worth it to end up getting hurt or to end up hurting somebody and then you end up sued?
Not at all.
What you mean, like get sued though?
The company gets sued, or
they sign
something
goes.
Well, I get that. I'm just saying in general, like is that worth it? Because there can always be a liability waiver, right? But that's why they have civil suits. OJ beat the criminal justice system. He lost the civil case to Ron Goldman.
And that's why niggas like Floyd get out for not taking fights.
In boxing, though, if you got the right paperwork, like my man's, I forget his name, forgive me, he died last year in the ring. And they signed, when you go in there, it's a possibility that you can die in this. You know what I'm saying?
I can't remember the name of the boxer. It was two, actually. I think the one you talking about, it was a 27-year-old. He had only lost one fight the whole career. I cannot remember his name. One guy was
throwing the towel.
One guy was black. One guy was Hispanic. But it happened to two fighters. Yeah. Condolences to them as well. I'm sorry, I can't. Their name escapes us right now.
It's a real sport, man. I grew up on boxing. My uncle was a boxer. We used to look at tapes together. Like, I love boxing, but to see these dudes as celebrities and I could get a lot of people to watch this, but it's not a game. You fighting these real fighters now. Like, you can get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And like I said, I mean, I get why people do it. Money grab. Big money on the line, notoriety, sometimes charity events.
Yeah. I won't be watching that one.
All the shit. Well, will you be watching the Super Bowl? Because speaking of that, that's all the shit the Super Bowl does. Yeah. So you know how I feel about it. I'm not gonna go too far into detail.
Yeah.
Etc. I will not be tuning in. Of course.
Not watching the Super Bowl.
Of course not. My guy's not in there.
Why?
Wait, who your guy again?
Who your guy?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Dion, the coldest cornerback to touch turf. Say something else, get hurt. Niggas, what the fuck?
I got you.
Fuck no. We'll be back next year, boy. You look good in the playoffs this year, boy. Congratulations on your first year of experience with the Rams, my boy. Getting that playoff experience, man. It's a bright future. There's much more to come. So big ups to that. But no. For other reasons is why I won't. Why I won't look at it, and that's why I say I won't go too deep into it because of particular reasons.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm just mad that with COVID, it's not the Super Bowl parties that I'm used to. I'm used to going to parties and everybody celebrating. No matter who in the championship. I'm a Rams fan, diehard, but it's gonna be a good game. The two goats, you know what I mean? The goat right now and the future goat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested in it.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I just like I said, for me, it's I don't know. I don't want to stay on this topic too long. I just feel like more things need to change within the league a little bit. That's where I'm going to leave it at. The Weeknd is performing. I saw he sunk a lot of his own money into performing. He said there will be no guest appearances with him, so there wasn't enough room.
It's going to be dope.
That's literally all I got on that.
Weeknd's a dope artist. I can't wait to see that.
Y'all got predictions? Y'all taking Mahomes or Brady?
Chiefs. All day.
85?
We'll go Brady.
Brady. They ain't betting against the GOAT. You don't think the young boy gonna get him? You don't think the young boy gonna pull him out?
I think it'll be a close game, but it'll be probably some kind of down to the wire type shit. But I think
y'all want to make a cash bet right here on air.
Shit. You want to bet some stocks?
Huh?
Oh shit.
Think about it. We can do it.
I'm betting stocks. Let's do it.
Oh, speaking of the stocks, bro, I just invested a couple $100 into that Dogecoin we were talking about. You seen that?
Oh yeah.
They went on that rise, bro. I got in. It was like 3 cents on the dollar, and then it got up to like 6 yesterday. They trying to push it to a dollar. So, hold the line or whatever y'all said. I seen it on Twitter, and I just wanted to get involved. So hold the line, goddammit.
Shout out to Doge.
What else, man? Let me see. There was something else I wanted to touch on. Wasn't that? Oh, so with everything you take good and you take bad, it's always some positives. It's always some negatives. You know what I'm saying? Yin and yang. So on one hand, we have a government system that just passed through the the COVID relief bill, right? So the Democrats' latest proposal considered it sends $1,400 payments to individuals who earn $50,000 or less. So I will not be getting that. $2,800 to married couples. Will not be getting that. Earning $100,000 or less. Below are more details on the latest plan, which has not been publicly released yet and could still change. So there's still changes coming to this, but this is the Senate passed a new COVID relief bill just over this past weekend before we went into the weekend. Check that out. It's $1.9 trillion in relief going to businesses, families, small businesses, different things like that. So that could be considered something that was good that they did, right? Or something that's going to help people out in the pandemic and going through things. And then where they dropped the ball at, Kyle Rittenhouse, or is that how you say that little bitch's last name? Kyle Rittenhouse. Violates his bond. This is the little 17-year-old fuckboy who mama drove him up with the assault rifle, and he shot people, and he wasn't of age to even possess an assault rifle. That's that little motherfucker. So on Tuesday, prosecutors revealed they had lost track of Kyle Rittenhouse, 17-year-old Illinois resident accused of killing 2 people at an anti-racist protest in Wisconsin last August.
That's crazy.
I'll say that back for y'all. A 17-year-old Illinois resident accused of killing 2 people at an anti-racist protest in Wisconsin last August. He was
just old enough to get into the county.
He wasn't even old enough then.
He was 17, but his charge should have got him into the county.
If he was a different.
If he had a different complexion, it may have. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I'm wondering, did his mom get charged? Because your son's not old enough to purchase that assault rifle, and you gave it to him, and you drove him all the way across state lines to another state where he ended up murdering 2 people who were protesting racism.
How about the police that was out there handing them water? So you know what I mean? I seen the video.
That's not really nothing new though, because even with the Capitol riot situation, they were letting them in. They were opening the door for them. Like I think I'm past the point of like looking at a person's profession to make a judgment on what they do. Because far too often I'm seeing if a person relates to someone, too similarly, they'll usually overlook what may be morally right to take that road because we're the same.
Have a favor.
I mean, you in the midst of they wanted to call it a riot. They're in riot gear, and you got guys walking with AKs and semi-automatics, and you giving them water, telling them, "Thank you."
Listen, I seen this kid after
he kills 2 people.
After he did it, they released him, and he was
ridiculous.
After he did it, they released him, and there was a picture that went viral of him. I'm sure most of us have seen. He was in a bar surrounded by other police officers, off-duty cops, and things like that, with a T-shirt on. What did the T-shirt say? Like not guilty or something like that. Yeah. Something like that. It was basically he was making a mockery of what had happened, and now he's on the run. This is what happens. You see, when the judge, when the system is that lenient on particular people who commit certain crimes and not on everybody, what you're doing is creating a gap. Because what you've just said is, I can lock a young gentleman up like Khalif Browder on the premise of I think you stole a backpack. Lock him up without representation in one of the worst prisons in the country, keep him there for 3 years, keep him in isolation off of what you think he done. It finds out that he didn't do it. 3 years of his life has been taken from 17 to 20. He comes home, commits suicide. There was no accountability for that. He had to stay in prison for 3 years over a backpack. Y'all let a murderer out who wasn't even old enough to purchase the weapon which he killed these people with as an anti-racist protest.
That's just sad. I don't even like thinking about it. It's like it done became so normalized that it happens so often that I just don't like to think about it or get into it because it's like it's nothing I can do.
Me and Candace had this talk earlier. What was we speaking on? It was something similar to this. You remember? I just had it in my head, but we was talking about this. God, it slipped my mind. It'll come back to me.
It's almost expected though. When I even seen it, I'm like, he gonna get off.
Desensitized.
Right.
You mentioned you want to speak into the microphone so they can hear you say it. Are you good? She camera shy, y'all. All right. So look, so me and Candace had a conversation in regards to, she asked me, did I feel as if people were being desensitized to the murder and the slaughter of black people? And I told her absolutely. And I think that's a concerted effort by the people who control the media and the people who control access to the media, right? Because social media, we're in a different age. Everything you see is instant. It's on TV, right? It used to be a time where you'd hear about a black kid getting killed or gunned down and somebody tell you it took about a week before you knew, and then it still hurt the same way, but it was like, what happened? We got to figure out, let's see, why did they do that?
Now it's like you got the whole video on social media and nothing has happened still.
Exactly, because now you can see people who look like you on a day-to-day basis. Somebody could literally make a website off of Black Death and post one video a day of a black person being killed unarmed by police. That's not an exaggeration. That's the times we live in. But because the videos keep getting put out there and everything goes so fast, you get desensitized to be actually feeling bad about the shit because it's become a scroll on your phone. I'm watching this guy bleed out of his head from something. And then when I'm tired of watching it, when I don't want to see it no more, I scroll. You see what I'm saying? That's where we've gotten to the point where people are acting like that's how life works. And because of that, there's never no justice served. No policemen are held accountable. No city, councilmen or nothing are replaced. Like, these things have to all take effect for any change to happen.
It's almost like a no hope thing.
It's a chain of command.
Because it's
most of the youth out here want to be rappers and all this shit that don't matter, but nobody want to go into the justice system and be somebody that can help change the world.
Yeah. Well, we seeing a transition in that. Candy, I'm gonna get you to say. I know Candy had a question. We seeing a little bit of a transition in that, but we do need to preach that a lot more in our community. And I will say, I don't think there's nothing wrong with having a dream. I don't think there's nothing wrong with a young kid aspiring to be a rapper or anything, etc. Like, well, we tell them like, we got enough of them, right? Because we might be turning down the next Tupac by doing that. I don't like to stunt nobody's growth, but I do feel you.
Not like that.
No, I feel you. Same thing. Yeah, I feel you on what you're saying. Like, we just need to diversify our field. We need more rocket scientists. We need more politicians. We need more councilmen. Like, I feel you on that.
And not to cut you off, but even with the rap game, it's a lot of people want to be this tough rapper, but
why you just can't be a regular
Bryson
rapper?
Tiller's out there. It's Bryson Tiller. It's niggas who sing like Tory Lanez, who don't want to do it because they think that they have to be a tough rapper or this. And
you don't got to be a
tough
rapper.
But
real tough.
Niggas like me listen to Tory Lanez and Mozzie, so it's like you can be whoever you want to be, nigga. You still
and then I feel like that gives off so much of a negative stereotype to our younger generation, where they end up going down the path that's honestly sometimes there's no coming back from. That's a dead end street sometimes, and if you don't know how to hop that fence when you get down there, you're going to lay there. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. And in this music, a lot of the artists rap about that shit. So we got to hold them accountable, hold ourselves accountable too for what we putting out as a culture and what they taking in. It's like food. If you cook it for them and they eat it, you can't complain because they ate what you served. Yeah. You see, that's the thing with artists too. You got to make something with some substance, or I don't want to hear your fucking mouth out here talking about all these black kids getting gunned down if the nigga who shot him was listening to your music when he did it.
It's just so crazy because
you see what I'm saying?
It comes a trend where you look at like all these people at their concerts, they might not even look like us. They might be 15-year-old, 16-year-old kids in the suburbs, and you see in TikToks the people dancing, the people talking about killing people.
But and that's the saddest part.
That's just the way to make money.
That's the saddest part though, because
it influences young kids,
and that's what I'm getting to. It's the saddest part because it affects the younger people in a negative way through not just the music but through the imagery that's portrayed, right? And I'll segue into this one of the next topics here with that. Rapper Salento has been arrested and accused of murder. Rapper Salento, known for his hit song and viral dance craze, Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay. Y'all remember that a couple of years back. He was arrested last Monday in DeKalb County and charged with murder in the death of his cousin, authorities said. Ricky Lamar Hawk, 23, is Salento's real name. He's accused of shooting 34-year-old Frederick Rooks multiple times outside of a home, in the Panthersville area last month. Hawk was booked in the DeKalb County Jail Monday night and is being held without bond on a single murder charge, jail records have shown. Little was known about Rooks' land when his body was discovered January 21st, lying in the middle of a road. However, after thorough investigation, the DeKalb County Police Department detectives identified Hawk as Rooks' cousin and the person responsible for Rooks' murder. DeKalb Police spokeswoman Michaela Vincent said investigators are still working to uncover the motive for the shooting. Representative spoke out for the rapper on his murder charge. His publicist, Chanel Hudson, identified herself as his publicist and said that they're asking for prayer for the rapper and his family at this moment. She described him as a beautiful soul. So that story will unfold. This is what's been reported so far, though. Again, he is currently incarcerated on the charge of murder or his cousin.
You got a dude that made a song where all the kids is doing the dance to. It was just a positive thing, and then like, dang, now he's a murderer. Like, wow, you know what I mean?
And he's only 23. That's what we go to what we're talking about. Young. That's Salento. Okay. The whip, watch me whip, watch me nay nay. Yeah. You know, he's only 23 years old, so that goes into what we're talking about.
That wasn't even a bad song.
Yeah.
That's what we were saying. That's for kids was doing that. You know, he wasn't even talking nothing gangster. You know what I'm saying? And
they might as well keep
crazy.
his news off the media.
And just get pulled into it pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I did also see a statement that said that I'm not sure it was from his publicist, but I know they said over the past couple of years, I guess he's been dealing with some mental health issues and things of that nature as well too. So again, we don't know the whole story, but that could play a part into whatever happened that went wrong with him and his family member that caused for this to happen. If what's being alleged is what is was to have happened. So yeah, we'll follow that, man, and hopefully we can get some kind of positive out of that. Or I mean, there's a life lost, so the best thing that can come out of it is the story that we being told is not what happened, and he didn't murder his cousin. You know, maybe he knows who did, or he was there in the
sad
vicinity.
situation either way, man.
But that would be 2 lives lost, you know, in that particular thing.
Right.
Sad situation, man, just all the way across the board. And I know we touched on the Super Bowl already. It was one thing. This is like a small thing. Y'all seen, Fat Boy?
Yeah, Fat Boy.
Instagram comedian and everything. I don't know if y'all saw this. I peeped this over the weekend. He basically played somebody out of some like promotion money was the thing.
Really?
Yeah, it's like $3,000. You know, they make people pay for stories and post and all that.
Yeah.
I was just wilding out because the prices. Don't get me wrong, right? Like we pay that same kind of shit, but for other shit, right? The dude who bought it from me, he charged $1,500 to put a post up on his story, and then told him give him another $1,500 to like post the post, I guess on his wall or something, right? So $3,000 or whatever, right?
Wow.
From a nigga that we never heard of, whatever money he
somebody
paid.
was paying Fat Boy.
Yeah, but he didn't do it.
Yeah.
So he just like took the money.
But the dude, like they got audio clippings of it. You know, the dude talking, they going back and forth. It looked like a clout chase. I ain't gonna fake it.
Yeah.
The dude from like New Orleans somewhere. Fat Boy telling him like, bro, we on a time difference. You know, I told you 5 o'clock, but I'm asleep. 5 o'clock for me ain't 5 o'clock for you.
Right.
Which is true.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I didn't feel like he finessed him. I feel like it started to look more like a clout thing to me the more I read into the messages. And the dude was the one who put the messages out. And then even Fat Boy wrote him after he did that and was like, you doing little girl shit. Like you putting private messages on. We men. Yeah. You putting messages on Instagram.
The fact that I was hitting you back.
Yeah.
Everybody is looking for some form of clout.
So what happened? Did he put the post up?
No. He told the dude, he's like, you can have your little $3,000 back.
Oh, you can have it back.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I seen that, and that made me think about
jumping the gun.
A specific situation, because I know we named Fat Boy, but he's not the only person that this has been reported to who have done this. You know, other celebrities and stars, they try to get over on regular people every day. You know, if I got to reach 1 million and something people, and I'm taking $350 or $500 from whatever for your post, you can tell whoever you want. My reach is more than yours. Some people really think like that, and there's some scamming motherfuckers out there, right? Not to say this next person is one, but this is a story that's recently come out. So comedian Kevin Hart is being sued for something similar to this. Kevin Hart's being sued after allegedly bailing on a 2018 party appearance. According to reports, Hospitality Group is suing Kevin Hart for allegedly skipping on an event that cost the company tens of thousands of dollars. The lawsuit alleges the event planning company agreed to pay Kevin Hart $26,000 to promote and appear at their after party on July 28th of 18. The party took place at the Highline Ballroom in Manhattan, following one of Kevin Hart's stand-up performances from earlier that night. Court documents state that as part of the deal, Kevin Hart received $10,000 in advance as a deposit. However, according to the lawsuit, Kevin Hart had no intention of honoring the Instagram promotion or agreement. The event planning company claims that months passed and Kevin Hart never promoted the event on his Instagram as he allegedly agreed to do. Because the comedian allegedly failed to keep his end of the deal, the company has asked for a refund of the deposit a few weeks before the scheduled event. However, court documents show that Kevin Hart's team sent the funds to the wrong person.
Wow.
The lawsuit states the defendants recklessly issued a refund to the wrong party and without any attempt to fix the careless error made, excuses for their own management of accounts. So yeah, all in all, they came out of $26,000, paid him $10,000 up front. And they're saying he basically bailed on them with the agreement that they had.
Didn't show up, didn't do anything. Then he said we refunded it to the wrong people. That's a little finesse move. That's crazy for Kevin Hart to do that though.
Yeah, I was thinking like I don't think. Well, would that be intentional? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he probably got bit. You know he doing.
Because you get to it. That's what I'm saying. You get to.
Hey, fuck with a nigga like me. I send that shit to my other account.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. You get to a certain level.
Too.
You get to a certain status. Like when you're doing business. If I'm not the person that handles my business from that side, the financial part of it, maybe I missed it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it could have been. Yeah,
it was an honest mistake. Maybe I didn't know. Maybe it was scheduled wrong.
People get finessed by their financial advisors all the time.
Yeah,
so it's like their financial advisor could have
exactly
sent it to his account.
He might not know nothing about it, and his manager, whoever was handling it, could have took the bread.
It's a refund, so at that point, he not expecting the money.
Right.
So whoever can finagle it at that point gonna do it.
Yeah, it's basically they shit. All right, we're gonna round this out then with new music and what to watch for. Let's see who we gonna start with over this past week.
What's that new Denzel movie coming out? Or did it come out already?
It came out. Just came out already. I forgot. I can't think of the name of it off head, but it did come out though.
Too.
Okay, it did look dope.
New music that dropped was Polo G, Freddie Gibbs and Schoolboy Q, Cooked Up. Shout out to Freddie Gibbs, Schoolboy Q. Pooh Shiesty dropped something new. I told you it's Shiesty season. Actually, his mixtape dropped. EP dropped on the 5th.
Crazy too.
What else? The Weeknd dropped some new shit. Cardi B dropped some new shit. I seen there was a little controversy with that. I haven't seen who the group was, I guess, but it's some other artist apparently claiming that she stole their shit or stole their flow. And it got to the point where she actually addressed it. So I haven't looked too much into that, but I know she dropped new music. Big up to Conway, man, and Grizel, the Conway Machine. Dropped some new music. They are killing, man.
You ain't lying. We can't really drop some shit.
Yeah, but come on now.
Look, I know this shit.
Merchandise, Benny Conway, shout out to the whole Griselda, they doing their thing over there. Keisha Cole also dropped new music. I think it was titled I Don't Need Love. I heard a snippet of it, haven't got to hear the whole song yet. I absolutely will after we finish recording this episode. And then what to watch for. So Coming to America 2, the full trailer has been released. So now y'all know we got an expected release date. Everybody make sure y'all check that out. Let's support Eddie Murphy, Wesley Snipes, Tiana Taylor, everybody who's involved, Rotimi, all our people that's involved in this movie. Let's make sure we seeing this where we can see it at, that we supporting it, and etc.
Can't wait to see that one.
Queen Latifah, The Equalizer, premieres after the Super Bowl on CBS. It's a new TV show that she's got called The Equalizer. It's dope. I've seen the videos for that, the little trailers and everything, so I want to check that out. For Life is back airing, new episodes, 50 is still killing. And then the last thing I'm going to touch on, I don't know if y'all seen this or not, but Lil Yachty is actually developing an action heist movie based off of Uno.
Wow.
The card game.
Yeah.
So
action
I don't got too much information about that right now, but I am interested as to so it's gonna be an action heist movie.
That's crazy.
So I just thought about it like I'm interested to see how it's gonna turn out because the game of Uno is real cutthroat. Right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know we went to Vegas. Everybody's in this room. We went to Vegas and did the promo video months ago that you motherfuckers ain't seen. It's gonna be on like the Lost Files or some shit like that. But all of that shit though. So Yeah, man. I'm it's cutthroat. It's around the board. Nigga think something finna happen, and then bam. So action heist movie. If he gonna keep it with that same premise, I can kind of see that working. Or I'd at least be interested in seeing what basically would come of that.
We also got Snowfall dropping February 24th.
Okay, Snowfall.
We covered that shit last episode.
Okay.
That's at the end. Okay. That's at the end of the episode.
We getting closer to it.
Nah, y'all keep an eye out for FX dropping. Y'all already know Snowfall new season. I forgot what day it was. Check episode 2. We talked about it's gonna be a 2-episode premiere for the new season. So definitely can't wait to see that, man. Big ups to all that. So we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. Free flow. Anybody got any topics they want to touch on that we didn't touch on? Candace, I know you said you had a question. Are you good? You want to get your question off?
I want
Curbside. Ask her on the microphone so I can hear if she would like to get her question off.
Candace, what is your question?
I don't have one.
Thank you.
You answered it already, sir.
Okay, thank you. So she doesn't have a question.
We covering all topics.
I think we touched on all bases. Anybody got anything that we didn't touch on?
What you think about what Fun Flex said?
About the liposuction shit?
Nah, hell nah. About the
Wait. What he say about the liposuction?
Oh, that nigga threw Drake under the bus. He threw Kanye under the bus. He named names. He said, well, when I did it, I felt like everybody was doing it at the time, and
we do. Kanye had it,
and Kanye did it.
Do French Montana got it?
I'm pretty sure he did. I'm sure. Listen, while they never came out and said French's name, I'm pretty sure that nigga got that body.
Yeah, niggas want to get on Instagram doing these little routines like they been doing it.
Put the sweat on me.
Niggas going to gym, niggas going to gym, pick up one weight and be like, get this picture.
Yeah, exactly.
And then go to Dr. Miami like, I want the V at the bottom. I want you to get my rolls off the side. Sculpt my pack. If you can give me 6 to 8, I'll take that shit.
Shout out Dr. Miami for getting the bag.
We getting to it. Went for ass to abs. We in there, man.
Free pub, goddammit. But that was it in the free flow though. Huh? 85? Where we at? Anything you want to touch on?
I think.
Then we covered everything? Yeah. Curbside?
Yeah. Everything.
T. Lee?
Yeah, we got it all, man.
All right, man. This has been episode 3. Thank y'all for tuning in. Keep following us. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good shit. Shout out to OT Dub. Shout out to Goody. Shout out to GGM, Galaxy Gang Studios, Business Ventures, everything like that. Shout out to the whole squad, everybody rocking with us. Follow our Instagram pages and follow our business page, man. It's YKTV. You know the vibes.